So good morning, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be globally. Welcome to Dr. Joseph Ahrens' call for this week. And we are going to find out what is it about coffee. Like, we're going to have a bit of a chat. I pinched this graphic from Kendall, so thank you so much, because we want to know what is it that makes coffee sing to us and makes us sing, literally, Dr. Ahrens. So how are you today?
Well, I'm great.
Well, maybe we should all do a here's cheers with your coffee for those that have a coffee in hand, because this is what we are going to be talking about. And if I can give it an outline on where we're heading, and for those that are keen to do a 1 minute little testimonial at the end, please let us know, because we'd like to know what your thoughts are. But Dr. Ahrens, we want to find out, what is it about coffee? Like, what's in coffee? What is it that that draws us to it? Why is it the second highest consumed beverage as per Google, what Google tells us, besides water? And what is it? How does it affect the body that it becomes something that we really seem to need? Like, you know, some people just can't start the day without having a coffee. Like, as soon as their feet hit the ground, that is the first thing that they'll go for in regards to kickstarting their day. So I'd like to ask you if you can enlighten us in your thoughts, without making any claims or anything here. What is it that makes it so amazing?
Well, so yeah, the video link's still jumping around. I'm going to try to go ahead. And so, Ron, if I fail here, I know what you think about coffee. So listen, coffee and humans grew up together. We've got coffee beans showing up in our very earliest archaeological digs. It's amazing, because coffee really doesn't become good for you until you roast it. So it's how that happened. That's a pretty good mystery. Coffee is native, indigenous to many places in the world. That means that there's different coffee types. There's all the same species, but there's different cultivars, but they are native to places like Mexico, Brazil, Vietnam, and so it's not just. It is not native to Arabia, by the way, even though our number one variety right now is Cafea Arabica and Cafea Robusta. That's an implant, and it's not the so-called New World. You know, there were a lot of plants brought back from the so-called New World, like tomatoes, and you know, now Italy is famous for tomatoes. Yes, it was an import. Also, this coffee was imported into Arabian countries. Turkey.
So I think
it's not to Turkey. So not just Africa, but also grew up with it. We don't know how long ago we have been using coffee, but it actually is a good diet that would preach to us how, you know, the things that are bad are.
So, Dr. Ron, would you like to chime in here for us? Because I think that I may have lost Dr. Ahrens. So if I can ask you to give us some opinion on here in regards to coffee and what your thoughts are, because we really want to try and deep dive and understand. Oh, is he back?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. No, I can't. So, Dr. Ron, do you want to jump in?
Sure. Coffee is something I've been drinking for, let's see, probably 60 some years now.
So
go ahead, Dr. Joe.
I think we've
well, go ahead, Ron, if you want to talk about it. Either one. I'm back.
I was just saying, I've been drinking it for a long time, and I know there's a lot of health benefits to drinking coffee. Number one, it tastes good. When I started out, you know, we kind of used the cream in it and maybe a little bit of sugar. And as I matured in age, then the first of all, the cream went away and then the sugar went away, and now I probably wouldn't use either or. But I think the antioxidant value of it is critically important for good health, and especially for men. There's a lot of research and a lot of evidence that it helps to prevent prostate cancer. So that's a good reason for guys to be drinking coffee, and it just tastes good. But the value of foods, real foods, can be tremendous. And the antioxidant value, I think, is probably, for me, the most important reason, other than just the great taste.
So when we start looking at it too, Dr. Ahrens and Dr. Rum, when we look at it, because what I was reading in regards to the stimulant aspect of it, of increasing activity in the brain and the nervous system. So what are your thoughts in regards to that? Because that makes sense to me, because this is where this need for it, that people are hitting the ground, and this is what they're looking for, because they're getting in small amounts. It leaves you with feeling refreshed, and also to be focused as well, which is what we're hearing with 2 of our new coffees as well, but it's across the board, so it appears. So have you got anything to say in regards to that?
Yeah. Well, let me try again. Can you hear me now? I have no idea what's happening with this network. Are you okay? Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, so I wanted to say the point that we grew up with coffee, and so it is actually a part, and should be a part, of our diet. I had a school teacher that said tobacco and caffeine and alcohol were the 3 sins on the planet, and she just didn't know what she was talking about. Actually, caffeine is excellent for us. It's the number one thing you think of when you think of coffee, but there are long lists of other ingredients that are exceptional for you. They have been shown, and I'm going to quote here now, Johns Hopkins. So this isn't some weird people that don't know what they're talking about. Johns Hopkins, which is a very conservative, stalwart medical group in the United States. It will decrease heart attacks. It will lower blood sugar. People become non-diabetic. It curbs your appetite. It actually helps your body to repair itself. It makes your brain alert. It actually seems to ward off the effects of Alzheimer's. And so we need to think about, well, what's bad in coffee? That's really the best way to think about it. What is bad in coffee? There's only 2 problems with coffee. One of them is that it has acid, and to some people it can upset their stomach if they drink too much of it. It is acidic. Second thing is, there is one ingredient in coffee called caffesterol that appears to increase your low density lipoprotein, your bad cholesterol. It appears, there's no direct evidence, but I've got to say that there is one ingredient in coffee that appears to increase your low density lipoprotein, your bad cholesterol. Now, you guys know I don't believe all that nonsense anyhow, but if you're trying to keep your LDLs down, then coffee can help raise it, but it is like 99% every way is good for you. And it also, you said your husband drinks coffee before a workout. It helps to repair muscle tissue. Now, how much should you take? If you're not pregnant, you could drink 4 to 5 cups a day with no issue whatsoever. That's mostly based on the caffeine content. If you go over 4 or 5 cups, then it can cause anxiety in people. That's usually because you become hyper alert and your brain wakes up, and then you start getting these fears. I don't know what's happening. It's the fight or flight thing, but not after that. Now, some people are very sensitive to caffeine, so bitters, but the average person can easily consume 4 to 5 cups. Now, for a nursing mother or pregnant, because we have not completely understood the benefits on newborns and very young children.
Sorry, Dr. Ahrens, I think we're okay, but I think we may have lost you. So Dr. Ron, do you want to step in here and have a little bit of a talk about this? I'm sorry, guys, this is technology, and thank goodness we've got the likes of Dr. Ron, but I think Dr. Ahrens may be venturing in, but we will get to the base thoughts of it. So Dr. Ahrens, we do talk about coffee and we look at the benefits of it, and we even look at our own soul side and the VIP coffee and the turbo roast. You know, I do encourage people on here because we are looking for people's own reviews rather than a testimony, but a review as we head forward. So think about what your 1 minute review may be. But Dr. Ron, have you got any other thoughts in regards to the benefits of coffee that you've noted?
Well, you know, I think Dr. Joe is right. We need it, and it's a part of our daily diet, and it has been for mine for many, many years. A lot of people say they get jittery. I don't. You know, it's
Okay.
7:45 in the evening, and I'm drinking my second mug tonight, and I go to bed about 11:30, and it doesn't keep me awake at all. So everybody's going to be uniquely different. Our body's all created individually. Some people it'll affect them more, and some people use decaf, although personally, I don't use decaf. The reason is, number one, how they decaf it. That can be a real issue because the process of decaffeination cannot be terribly healthy in a lot of cases. So if it's a natural way of doing it, no problem. But I just think the caffeine's good. Mental alertness is really, really good. It gets you going, it gets you thinking. I think it opens up the cardiovascular system, especially to the brain, so you can communicate and think well, and you know, just be an active part of your day with the people you love, and sitting around with a cup of coffee smells good too.
Well, it's a conversation starter, isn't it? Like how many people invite you? Like it's one I was thinking about it this morning that, you know, when you have a cup of coffee through the day, it might be, do you want to catch up for coffee? You know, we either finish a meal with a cup of coffee. So do you want to finish, you know, having a meal with a group of people? Do you want a coffee?
Right.
You know, what is it about? Like people are really, it's one of those substances that people get together to have a conversation. And so I think it's, this is where we look at it. Dr. Ahrens, I think you might be back with us again, that we start looking at how powerful that this drink can be, and why we're all jumping on board and so excited about it.
So it's really good in its own right, natural coffee. And this is one of the few things in life that is great for you and tastes good. Most people, the majority like it because, as I said, we grew up with it. And I believe that depends on it. So it's coffee, and it has provided things for a lot of, you know, caffeine is in a lot of things. Chocolate is a good example. It's also in tea. It's in coffee.
So Dr. Ahrens, we're getting you in quite scratchy. So I'm not sure whether you want to even try to come in via a phone link even and see if that helps, because we've got you frozen again. So Dr. Ron, if we start talking about this again and then looking back, because I'd like to encourage people to think about putting their hand up and unmuting.
Okay.
You're back?
So, yeah, here's one thing I want to say before I get kicked off again. Take a drink like coffee, which is exceptionally good for you, as a base, and then add some even better things to that. And that's really phenomenal. Everybody likes coffee, they drink coffee, but we take a very good drink like coffee itself and then add a couple more things into it, enhance its alertness. So this is why I'm glad to be associated with Valentis, that they've taken coffee, a good beverage for you, and they've added some things to it to enhance its natural abilities to help you do things such as manage your weight.
I think we're a bit scratchy again, are we, guys, or is it just me? Yeah, it was scratchy. Okay. So Dr. Rob, what we might do then is look at talking about, because I know we've even got the likes of Jim Lindemann on there, and I know that you exercise a lot. We're not trying to encourage people to think or to frighten people to think they've got to work like a lean mean training machine like Jim is, but just getting up each day and even going for a 15-minute walk, and that's beneficial. Anything that gets your cardiovascular system working, but to be able to have the stimulant there of coffee and how it makes you feel. I think that's the big thing. It makes you feel good, and it is that conversation starter to be able to even go and have a coffee and sit down. So Dr. Ron, is there anything you want to add before we can try and encourage people to venture on and share their reviews?
Well, I think what Dr. Joe is about to say too, about what the other ingredients in our new Soulside coffee and the other ones that you got out there in the Australia that we're looking forward to hopefully having here soon as well. But I personally had the new Soulside now for 3 days. Very, very impressed with what I'm seeing so far. Just, getting up there in age and finding the mental clarity and focus better. Less midday kind of a little slump, not gone away totally, but in our activities are pretty active. We get out and walk probably 3 to 5 miles, 4 miles every day. Been doing that for about 50 years. And, it gives us that energy to go out and do things, to keep yourself active, keep the blood flowing. And if we can add that wonderful stimulant, if you will, to the body in a natural way. And we drink, when we're not doing our Soulside coffee, throughout the day, we do an organic coffee. So it's really, really good, and enjoying it tremendously.
And of course, Dr. Ron, coffee can be put into food. So there's many foods that we can incorporate coffee and put it into it. So if you're not a coffee drinker, you can still incorporate it into your daily regime as well. So when we talk about Soulside, VIP, coffee, there's not just drinking coffee, there's other ways of consuming it as well. So whether it be cold, whether it be hot, there's so many benefits and so many variants that we can do that. So I'd encourage somebody, Kathy Gregory, have you started with your coffee yet and what your thoughts are? If you'd like to share a review on where you're at with what you're experiencing.
I do not have the new Soulside coffee in my body yet, but I do drink the Thermaros coffee. Actually, I'm a mocha fan. So I use the Thermaros cocoa and the mocha together and make mochas. And when I do have the creamer, our keto creamer, I also add a keto creamer. And what I notice right away is, like, if I can visually show you, it's like, like Ron said, it's like mental clarity for me is one of the big, huge feelings. And when I don't have my coffee, I know I don't feel that way. So I know it definitely is that. And just in my journey with drinking the Valentis coffees, it has helped me with weight management for sure, to get the weight off and to help me keep it off with appetite suppressant and controlling the foods that I know hurt me. It helps with those cravings too. So that's my 1 minute, but I would say the visual of just, I just feel like the clouds lifted and I can start my day with clarity for sure.
Thank you, Kathy. So is anyone else like to unmute, or Ron, would you like to add something to that?
Well, I just say in the 2 days that I've been on it, that I've weighed myself, now I'm down 2 pounds, and that's always encouraging. So it feels like a toning, trimming kind of thing, like less fluid retention, less puffiness. And when you get to be in your late 70s, you get this little ring around the belly, not a pot belly, but the love handles, and that seems to be diminishing slightly. So I'm looking forward to many more days, and being non-adaptogenic, I'm just really looking forward to a good run with our Soulside.
And I think, Dr. Ron, if anyone would like to unmute themselves, please do. But I think one thing that I've really noticed with it, from having Thermaros, like when I first started, I did find I'm not a big coffee drinker, so I found it did put a bit of zing into my step. And then and I still find that it's giving me the benefits that I'm looking for, and that's the feel good benefits and kick-starting my day in the right way. So I'm very excited to be able to eventually get the Soulside, because of it being the non-adaptive effect to it, so that it's going to constantly keep on delivering these amazing results. So Karen Ford, are you able to unmute yourself? Because I know you have had a phenomenal journey with Soulside, and of course you are the queen of our 6-day experience with Valentis as well. So are you able to unmute and share your thoughts on this?
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much. Guys, I can truly say I've done all of the coffees here. And as you all know, I'm always losing 3.6 pounds, 3.2 pounds. This time, the feeling, and I think it was Ron that said this, it's almost, I feel like it takes all the cobwebs out. It's the most incredible focused feeling that I've had from any of the coffees. I have amazing mental and physical energy. Mentally, it's almost like you could eat if you wanted to, but if you eat when you're hungry, you can literally go until 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon because it does what it's supposed to do. I personally have lost 6 pounds in 6 days, and I love how I feel. For the first time in a long time, I look forward to getting up and going straight to the kitchen and fixing my coffee. And like you said, you can add it to other things. I fixed a frappe the other day with a scoop of protein and put my coffee in there with oat milk and a little bit of cinnamon and some vanilla and crushed ice, blended it up, and it was absolutely delicious. So there's so many things that we can do with our coffee, and it being non-body adaptive. That's one of the things that really gets me excited, because I've heard several people who's been on it longer than we have, and they say on the 10th, 11th, 12th, 14th day, it takes you to a whole complete different level. But I can't wait for us to get the sticks in. And by the way, we did have over 30,000 bags of coffee sold during pre-launch. So I know it's frustrating for some people who have not gotten it, but I said it's kind of like when you have a baby. It hurts so bad you think I'll never do this again, but once you look at that face, you go, that's the most beautiful face, and all of a sudden 2 years later you're doing the same thing again. That's what everyone here is going to experience, I promise you. And I will say this, we're in February with shipping, and everybody in the US, I don't know international, I know it's much more difficult, but in the US, I do know that everybody is getting their orders, even from the February order. So that's exciting to me. Tonight, we're going to have 2 big stories on the corporate call. So I encourage y'all to be on them, because they're both incredible stories that they'll be sharing tonight with the Burlings.
Thank you so much for that, Karen. And it is amazing, and it's very exciting watching people as they share their experiences as well, because it's certainly been a game changer. And I'm just looking at what Dr. Ahrens has put in here to stress to people that coffee naturally is good for you. And add ingredients to this platform is even better. So adding things into that, and a maximum of 5 cups a day, but avoid overnight time on the general rule of thumb for people. Otherwise, you may be up all night. But like Dr. Ron said, it doesn't seem to affect him. Everybody is so different, I think, as to what you adjust your body to, what it gets used to, and what you can manage. So who else would like to unmute themselves and share where they're at? Jim Lindemann, please unmute. Because you, Jim, are somebody that, I've got so much admiration for, because what you do in the gym, and as I said, not everybody has to do it, but I can relate to you in regards to what my husband does in exercise. It takes dedication. It's not just something that you look at and you go, oh my God, that person looks incredible. There's a lot of work, but there is a lot of persistence, dedication, and consistency in there. But how does coffee, so kudos to you, but how does coffee help your day?
Well, I'm gonna go back a little bit. When, so I've been with Valentis basically since the start. Like they talk about, the company started in July of 14. Well, I've been with since then. So I had the first coffee when it first come out, and helped me lose 20 pounds. I had a broken wrist, and yeah, I lost 20 pounds in a month. And of course, calendar weight or scale, so water weight and stuff. But I dropped 20 pounds. With the Soul Side, I just got it today. So got home tonight and had, I'm like, I'm not waiting. I had the cup like an hour ago. And so I can tell you what I'm feeling right now. I came home from work and I was really hungry. Within 10 minutes, I mean, I was like starving hungry. And within 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm not really hungry. Right now, I'm not hungry at all. Um, Focus and clarity, sharp, on point, got energy. You know, I got a lot of energy right now. I'm like wondering how I'm going to sleep tonight, but I'm like, I'm not waiting. I'm taking it right now. Just got it in the mail, took it. What I'm curious about is, yeah, I'm pretty lean right now. So, and so I'm not really looking forward for that, but I'm looking forward for the clarity and the energy and you know, the other perks that come with the weight loss. If it does anything for me, I'll definitely be able to tell, because I am pretty in tune with what I experience with my body, just with eating foods and stuff. I'm pretty in tune, but that's all I got.
I think it's pretty amazing, Jim. And as I said to everybody, and I will come over to you, Warren, is that, you know, regardless of whether you're actually walking, whether you are at a level of where you're putting in a whole lot of dedication to the extreme as to what Jim does, that, you know, you're going to get the benefits from this. And this is the big thing with it. Everybody's results are going to vary. So we aren't making any claims here to anything. It's just the individual's experience. So I'll take that over to you, Warren, if you'd like to share a 1-minute review.
Thank you. I've had mine for a little over a week, and I added it to my coffee rather than just drinking it with hot water. It doesn't, and still I'm doing the same thing. I'm not hungry or anything else like that. I've not had any weight loss, but in the beginning in 2015, I was at 240, and now I'm at about 180. So I'm not losing much weight right now because I think I've had that time period that I've got there. And also I'm taking the CBD, which also generates a lot for me from that. But I do notice that I have, you know, I'm not hungry. And here it is, my time's 5:30 in the afternoon. And I'm out and around and everything else onto it. But I was just wondering if it affected it by me adding it to my coffee rather than drinking it with hot water.
I think with that, Warren, that again, you know, we're not making any claims, and I know that you're not. So it's a matter of trial and error. And as Karen Ford said to us earlier, you know, mix it with different things and try. Just see what the experience is for your body, because everybody's body is different. And I wish that we had Karen Small on here, because her testimonial has been quite unique in regards to how her experience was in the first couple of days, because it was completely a flip side, but then it all kicked into gear for her. But it did give her that really great feeling of so much energy. The energy was just incredible, that she found that she actually wanted to eat more for the first couple of days, and then it just kicked in for her. And she said, why would that be happening? And so everybody's body is so different. So it's going to respond so much more differently than the next person. But by day 3, all of those other things that people are experiencing was what she started to notice. So Lorena, I know you've had your hand up. So did you want to unmute yourself, or was it just a hand to say, okay, all right. So anybody else like to unmute? So we'll take 2 more. Kim, Hadley, yes, how are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
Well, I haven't received my soul side yet, but I'm so excited for when it comes. But my husband and I both do the, I like the Brazilian best, but we kind of drink them all. And he so far has lost, starting last March, so in a year, he's lost 97 pounds and I've lost 50.
Oh.
And so I'm so excited for the soul side, because we're reaching elders. I don't know. I'm going to be 60 and I really need energy. So, but I wanted to talk about the Emulin for just 1 second. My husband was full-blown diabetic, and
I need to pull you up there, Kim, before you even go any further, because I just can't make any claims to diabetes. We just got to be super careful. So
yes, he was in the range, and we did lifestyle changes, and we started taking Emulin, and now it's normal range, and I'm really, really excited about that.
So I guess, as I would like to say, that the symptoms have been managed more efficiently for you and your body's helped you to.
Absolutely. Yes, with
Yeah.
diet and exercise and eating right, drinking lots of water, losing the weight, all of those things all tie in together. And we're having phenomenal results with all of our products.
Yeah, no, I think it is amazing. So thank you so much for that. And that is an incredible loss in, well, I like to call it weight management. And it's quite an interesting thing when we talk about weight loss, but there's also people that do not need to lose weight, but the Soul Side coffee and even the VIP coffee that we're seeing, it's the other benefits that people are getting. So it's weight management I'd like to look at. And for those that are looking to lose a few extra kilos or a few extra pounds, so to speak, your body's going to allow you to do what it needs. And I think that's the exciting thing with Soul Side for me is that it is non-body adaptive. And I think that is a really huge, big key to be able to know that your body is going to keep on getting the benefits from whatever it actually is needing. And this is where Karen Small's testimonial, what she was telling us on a call, was that hers was different and now it's changed. Everybody is actually different. So have we got time for one more? So does anybody else like to share an experience? Please do. Don't be shy. Oh, you are all shy. Goodness me. Okay, so Dr. Ahrens had to disappear. So unfortunately, due to obviously technology. So Dr. Run, just to finish this call off, when we start looking at it, I am super excited. I don't know how you feel about it, but I know listening to what we've heard today, we've had 7 years of various different types of coffee. And let's be honest, we all like a change, don't we? And what we've got coming with us with Soulside and what's hit some doorsteps already, that change is a very welcomed one. And behind here, it's making us all sing. We're all singing out from the rooftops. So what are your thoughts on it as we go forward?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be probably one of the easiest conversations to get in with people because, you know, when we look at the statistics of how many people in the world drink coffee, I mean, it's the second most consumed liquid other than water in the world. And the majority of people drink it, love it. And just, you know, it's asked the question. I was out, we were doing a little bathroom remodeling and I was in 3 different places in the last couple of days and great conversations just occurred. Send me some information. So, you know, do you drink coffee? And this happens to be a weight loss coffee. Oh, really? Oh, I know my mother would love to hear about this as well. So it's going to be fun conversations. Make it light, keep it simple. And then what I always will tell people, drink plenty of water too. I mean, you got to flush the system, eat healthy. And, you know, we got all the products in the world from Valentis that are just so powerful. What a combination, what a company, what a marketing plan. We're on the road up.
Well, you've heard it, everybody. So please go and share this because it is an amazing thing. Do your own homework. We always suggest to you that you go and do your own homework. Be careful on how you share this phenomenal product because we want to make sure that we do stay compliant because we are looking at weight management. It does so many different things for so many people. But I could say one thing, it certainly puts a big zing into everybody's step. And that's what I'm seeing. And I'm very excited to see it come into Aussie land. And I look forward to seeing you all share your stories and let's get the word out there. Let's sing it out loud and proud because it certainly is something that is changing people's lives. So on behalf of Dr. Joseph Ahrens this week, I thank you all so much for joining us and join us next week because we've got a really great topic with Dr. Ron Boersema Sr. and Kathy Gregory. We are going to be, and Dr. Ahrens, we are going to be talking about children's health very carefully to be able to look at how we can, their diet, you know, looking at dietary changes and their habits, what they do each day and how we can encourage them to live life well and to live life to their ultimate best. So again, my name is Jackie Boyle and I thank you so much. And thank you to each and every one of you that shared your story today. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.